This is a man that abused his and exploited his own son's addiction to make the Biden family more money. They didn't give a crap about Hunter Biden. They knew they were funneling money to a drug addict, and they knew that could cost him his life. They didn't care because they wanted the money to keep coming into the Biden crime family. I actually feel sorry for Hunter Biden. I feel sorry for a guy that has a father and family members that say, we've got an alibi.
Mistake. If Biden made a mistake, it was to say that he wasn't going to do it.
You think?
Especially after seeing the nomination of people like Kash Patel, I think it is absolutely in good prudence to use it here rather than allow Hunter Biden to be the subject of infinite investigations for the next 4 years of Trump's presidency.
You mean how the liberals put Trump through all the criminal investigations?
All right, folks, grab your popcorn because this is going to be one wild ride. We've got Piers Morgan, Destiny, and Francesca in an all-out brawl over Biden's pardons, Hunter's scandals, and Trump's big power moves. Destiny tries to play the moral philosopher, but spoiler alert, Piers takes him to the cleaners. Meanwhile, Francesca, well, she's just throwing one weak liner after another to distract from the facts. This clip is a crazy one, so let's jump in and break it down.
Well, no, because Trump has criminal immunity from the Supreme Court, and all of his federal court cases are now dismissed, and the case in New York never had a sentencing and probably won't get one. So, no, they wouldn't be the same thing.
You seem very phlegmatic about all this, Destiny, but inside you must be hurting. Because what Joe Biden has done with one flick of his pen is he has taken away all the high moral ground that the Democrats could have had against Trump for the next 4 years. Because Trump can now pardon who the hell he likes. He can pardon every January the 6th protester. And he can do it in the sure knowledge that the moment people like you go, this is an outrage, how can you do this? He goes, you know what? At least they went to prison. Hunter Biden didn't do a day.
Let that sink in. Hunter Biden didn't spend a single day in prison. Meanwhile, you've got January 6th protesters who walked into the Capitol and are now serving years behind bars. And don't get me started on this sweetheart deal Hunter almost got, a deal so outrageous that even a federal judge said, nope, this isn't happening. The Biden DOJ tried to sneak it past us, but thankfully someone had the guts to call it out. It's amazing how justice works when your last name is Biden. Jail time? That's for the peasants, not the elites.
Two of the easiest questions in the world. Pierce, one, if he doesn't pardon Hunter, do you think that influences Trump's decisions at all and who he pardons next?
That wasn't what I said. I said
yes.
it removes your ability.
Absolutely
no,
not.
Destiny.
Number two.
It removes.
Number two.
Hang on. Let me answer number one first.
What have Democrats gotten for the moral
Come to number
high
two
ground for the last 4
second.
years?
Let me answer number one first. In answer to number one.
Yeah.
Huh? In answer to number one, my point to you was, if he does, and I'm sure he will, you on the left have absolutely no way to now play the high moral ground because your guy, the president, did it even worse.
What is that? What is the high moral ground? We're down a Supreme Court pick. We lost the 2000 presidency to another Supreme Court. The president now has infinite criminal immunity. What is the moral high ground gotten the Democrats up to this point? There's no point in engaging in norms when only one side upholds the norms. And to sit here, you want to talk about a farce, to pretend that Donald Trump's future pardon decisions are going to be based on who Biden decides to pardon is hilariously stupid. And if you want to talk about pardons, something that you never will hear, why not talk about some of Trump's pardons? How much time do we give to the pardon of Bannon or Stone, who was pardoned for crimes that were literally related to covering up other crimes from Donald Trump?
Destiny?
How many people care about that? Nobody. Where's the accountability for that? Nowhere.
You know
and
the
what's
difference?
the result of those investigations? They're all canceled. So
you know the difference?
No, I don't want to hear anything about Hunter Biden's pardon. It's a joke.
How many days in prison did Stone and Bannon and those guys do?
I'm pretty sure. Didn't Stone get clemency before he ever stepped foot in prison?
Yeah. He was sentenced to 40 months in prison, and then Trump pardoned him.
The day before, he got clemency. Also, forget Stone. Forget Stone. It's not about how much time did Stone spend in prison. It's about Donald Trump evading responsibility and culpability because Stone didn't have to testify about him. He said it publicly. He said, oh, Donald Trump, why would I squeal on the president? And then he didn't say anything to Congress. He told another witness not to. And then when he got convicted of all those crimes, Trump said, oh, I'll pardon him. So don't talk about Hunter Biden's pardon. It's an absolute joke.
But of course, the reason that Joe Biden, we're bringing Ben Ferguson here, the reason that Joe Biden seems to have started this wide-ranging, all-encompassing free pass for Hunter from the year that he began at Burisma, where he had no experience, to be earning $1 million a year on the board of an energy company in Ukraine when Joe Biden was the vice president, literally put in charge of American-Ukraine relationships, is that it may well cover other crimes that may have been committed.
Bingo, this pardon isn't just about Hunter, it's about covering up years of corruption. The timing here isn't a coincidence. Biden knows that if the Republicans dig deep enough, they'll find a trail leading straight to him. This pardon is damage control, plain and simple. It's like when a kid breaks a vase and sweeps the pieces under the rug, hoping no one notices. But we notice, and no amount of pardons or deflections is going to make this go away. The truth has a funny way of coming out even when you try to bury it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below if you agree with this.
In relation to that, which might have led to the big guy, as people have reported, who might end up being Joe Biden. So in a way, you know, he's providing a blanket immunity, which I know Destiny's very upset about immunity, to the Biden family here.
Yeah, look, I think Hunter Biden's pardon was much more than just Hunter Biden. Forget the corruption of Hunter Biden for a second. I think this was the pretext, and I'm going to make a prediction here, to a mass amount of pardons that are about to be coming down from this White House in the closing days of this administration, because they put together a list of people they believe have probably broken laws. They put it out there in the media over the last 24 hours, and they're justifying his brother and anybody that took money with the Biden last name, anybody that was corrupt at the FBI, anybody that was going after Donald Trump. The list, and they're trying to say that it's somehow Donald Trump's enemies list, so therefore we are justified in handing out pardons to everyone that was involved in the Biden crime family or abusing their power to go after Donald Trump. And so I don't really care that much about Hunter Biden's pardon. Of course, this was always going to happen. This is a man that abused his and exploited his own son's addiction to make the Biden family more money.
Let's not sugarcoat this. Joe Biden exploiting his son's addiction is about as low as it gets. If Trump had done this, CNN would have a wall-to-wall coverage calling it a national tragedy. But with Biden, they sweep it under the rug. Exploiting your own child to rake in millions, that's not just bad parenting, that's mafia-level corruption. And Hunter isn't just some random addict. He's the key to the entire Biden crime syndicate. You've got to ask yourself, how does this man sleep at night? Probably on a pile of Burisma cash.
They didn't give a crap about Hunter Biden. They knew they were funneling money to a drug addict, and they knew that could cost him his life. They didn't care because they wanted the money to keep coming into the Biden crime family. I actually feel sorry for Hunter Biden. I feel sorry for a guy that has a father and family members that say, we've got an alibi. He's a drug addict. We'll say that's the excuse for the crimes that we're committing and the money laundering that we're doing and all the bank accounts and all the money coming in from Romania and Ukraine and coming in from China and from Russian oligarchs. And they said, this is how we get away with it. We'll sell out America, the highest bidder, to the most corrupt people in the world, and we'll get away with it by saying, oh, he was a drug addict. He didn't know what he was doing. That is abuse of a child. It's really sad.
Okay, Francesca, you've been grimacing there, but are you grimacing because in your heart you know that Joe Biden has done a massive disservice to everybody on the left here with an act of utter selfishness?
Oh, I'm grimacing just because I was imagining Ben Ferguson and Ted Cruz putting out a joint holiday card, and I was wondering if they wear matching pajamas when they do that. Do you guys do that, Ben?
I don't understand exactly what
is it
that
holiday
has
sweaters
to deal
or
with
is
the
it
idea
pajamas?
that you have a president that abused his power and exploited his son's drug addiction, put his life at risk to make money, and you're talking about a damn Christmas card.
Oh, I was just, that's why I was smiling. I mean, Piers was asking me why I was smiling, but in my heart of hearts, Piers, oh man, I wish I could give you just the tiniest little violin so you could strum it there in your studio talking about the death of democracy. You know why Biden pardoned his son? It was to troll you.
Because he's
a scumbag. It was to troll everybody. And you know why he didn't? He said he wasn't going to, and then he did? Because he doesn't remember. He didn't troll me either. He sold out America.
He didn't troll me.
Like,
what he...
Not too sure if you guys heard that, but he said he sold out America to the highest bidder. Sold out America. That's the understatement of the century. This guy wasn't just taking bribes, he was auctioning off American interests to the highest bidder. Ukraine, China, Russia, you name it, they've all got a piece of the Biden pie. And what do we get in return? Skyrocketing inflation, open borders, and a president who can barely finish a sentence. The left loves to call Trump a threat to democracy, but Biden is out here selling democracy by the pound. It's disgraceful, and anyone still defending him needs a serious reality check.
What he did was he trolled his own side because you all queued up to defend him as being he was the good. Remember,
he's not going to be president
in all the
anymore.
debates we've had this year, he was the good guy. Trump was the liar. Trump was the hypocrite.
In whose
Trump was the
mind?
shameless guy.
Mind?
Trump was the
mind?
nepotism guy. And then in one moment, Biden proved actually he's just as bad. He's exactly the same.
How is the Hunter Biden pardon? How is that comparable? How is that comparable to Bannon or Stone?
Sorry, and the idea that he is using the idea of the justice system being weaponized against his family is laughable, given that Biden has helped direct the weaponization of the justice system against Trump for a year.
You have no proof of that. What, do we just lie here? Is this just a show where we just tell lies?
Well, Joe Biden lies.
Where's the part where Joe Biden directed the DOJ to do anything? Where is that?
Well, you think the entire weaponization of the American justice system against Trump in the last year, Biden had no involvement whatsoever?
Do you have proof of that?
I don't need proof of it. It's obvious.
Okay, so hold on. So it's so obvious. Wait. So to be clear, it's so obvious that this DOJ is being politicized and used by Joe Biden, the same DOJ that went after his son?
Yes.
The same DOJ that appointed a special prosecutor for when Biden had classified documents? What are we even talking? Do we even know how the government works in this country? What are we talking about right now?
All right, let me bring.
They gave him a sweetheart deal. Wait, Piers, we got to go back to the fact that the only reason why he was actually prosecuted was because he was given such a ridiculous sweetheart deal that a judge actually stood up and said, "This is abuse of power. I'm not going to accept it from."
Let's talk about that sweetheart deal. Hunter gets caught red-handed with crimes that would land anyone else in prison for years. And what does he get? A slap on the wrist so light, it's practically a high five. This deal was so outrageous that even a federal judge, someone who probably isn't exactly a Trump voter, shut it down. And yet Biden's DOJ thought they could get away with it. Why? Because they've been getting away with everything else. Corruption this blatant doesn't even bother hiding anymore.
Biden's Department of Justice saying this is something I've never seen before. It is unprecedented. No, I'm not going to allow a deal for Hunter Biden that is this sweet. No, I'm stopping it. And he stood up to the Department of Justice under Joe Biden, who basically said, we can do whatever the hell we want. We can sell out as much as we want to the worst actors in the world, including Russian oligarchs who are best friends with Vladimir Putin that gave millions of dollars to the Biden crime family and then funneled it through shell companies with 150 plus suspicious activity reports that were reported from American banks.
Convicted of? Ben,
I'm not talking about Roger Stone. I'm talking about the President of the United States of America weaponizing the DOJ.
Okay, let's not all talk over each other. Don't talk over each other. Let me ask Francesca. Francesca, be honest with yourself, though. When you heard that Biden had done this, didn't your heart sink?
Why do you keep talking about my heart? I
care about your heart. I'm all heart myself.
Again, I'm thinking about Christmas cards here. No, but Ben keeps talking about Russian oligarchs. Do we know why Roger Stone and Paul Manafort
Hang on, can you answer my question, please? Hang on, no, sorry, look. I want to take this back to the old-fashioned way. We have a panel. I'm the moderator. I ask the questions. Right, now, hang on. Francesca, why are you ducking my question? Just be honest.
I'm sorry. What are you saying? What's in my heart? My heart is he did it to
I said, did your heart sink when you heard he'd done it? Because you knew in that moment all the high moral ground the left have had all year with Trump, it disappears.
Absolutely not.
Really?
And if you agree, no, that's my answer, Piers.
Even when he lied repeatedly that he wouldn't do it? Even when Karine Jean-Pierre repeatedly lied that he wouldn't do it?
No.
Even when she dismissively, arrogantly put back the Fox News guys and Pete Ducey, dismiss them. How dare you keep asking me this?
They don't care about law and order.
No, you see, but here's my problem, Francesca. Here's my problem.
But why are you interrupting me, Piers? You ask me a question, I say no, then you have a problem with my answer? Let me explain why no, instead of keep interrupting me. Okay. The reason is that Hunter Biden has never done anything to me, right?
This is such a pathetic cop-out. Hunter Biden has never done anything to me. Really? That's your defense? By that logic, Bernie Madoff didn't do anything to me, personally, so I guess his Ponzi scheme was fine. Hunter's crimes aren't just about him. They're about how they expose a system where the powerful get to play by a different set of rules. This kind of corruption impacts everyone, whether Francisco wants to admit it or not.
Meanwhile, Steve Bannon defrauded the American people while fundraising for Ben, is it PJs or is it holiday sweaters? You tell me. Paul Manafort lied.
Your fantasy card
Paul Manafort lied to the FBI. Paul Manafort lied to the FBI. Roger Stone also lied to the FBI about being a back channel.
I'm talking about Joe Biden.
Piers Morgan, let me finish.
Answer my question, or I'll
Roger
move on.
Stone
She won't answer the question, Piers. She doesn't know how to.
Yo, can both
All
of
you can do is talk about Roger Stone and Bannon. I don't care about them.
I swear to God, dude. Like being on this program with Best Boy and with Dingleberry over here on the Trump administration, that's you, Piers. You've reached your final form.
Dingleberry?
As just one of the little dingleberries in Trump's diaper. You're right there. And it's so sad for you, Piers, because now that Trump won re-election, he's definitely never gonna do your program. And that sucks so hard. Like, doesn't that make you so sad?
You know what makes me laugh about people like you, Francesca?
You're not even going to get invited to Mar-a-Lago.
Francesca, actually, I was yesterday. It doesn't matter. And I will get an interview with Trump, probably at the White House. And when I do, I'll invite you. Sure. You can come and meet him.
There you have it, guys. The Biden administration isn't just corrupt, it's downright brazen about it. From exploiting Hunter to weaponizing the DOJ, they're rewriting the rulebook on a scandal. But here, we're not going to let them get away with it. You guys can let me know down in the comments below if you agree any of this is justified or corruption is at play. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.